Yeah, I know. It's a pretty good day for news. 2 videos for me in one day. It is a pretty good day for news. But I will say is this PlayStation State of Play. Oh, it wasn't as good as this day of news, but it is news. So nonetheless, what it is, what it do, what it is, lads and ladettes. And this State of Play, it had some interesting games, but it just wasn't. It literally, to me, it seemed like they copied the format of the Nintendo Directs, except they didn't have people present. So they opened it up with an Iron Man VR game. I think this took too long. I don't think there's been an Iron Man VR game. I know there was a Marvel Heroes one. I think there was one where you could play as Wolverine and the Hulk and things like that. I'm not really into VR. But what I will give them credit for is that a lot of these games, I do believe almost all of these games, are coming out this year. But nothing has been like pivotal. Nothing huge, big. So they opened it and there's this guy, he's sitting on his plane and you know, he's talking to a hologram. I guess it's AI, and he's talking to it, and something else chimes in and said, "You can't escape your past." And I'm like, "What's going on?" He said, "Did I just dream that?" And she says, "Incoming," and then something crashes through the plane, and then he falls out the plane, and he goes like, "Oh," I forgot what the trigger words was, but then all the suit comes on, and suddenly he's Iron Man, and he's aiming and he's shooting at stuff, and I'm like, "That's cool," but I'm not excited for it, you know, because I don't feel like this is the game that's gonna pull me in for VR. And, you know, it looks okay, but not really. That was the first thing they opened it. And they said that they're going to do more of these State of Plays throughout the year, you know, something like Nintendo's Direct. These are PlayStation Directs, basically. So this is what they're doing. But then after that, they gave us a Crash Team Racing. And I don't know. That's coming on June 21st, it said. But it didn't seem to me that it was apparent, but they showed the fact that you could scale it between, and it would make sense given the fact that this was originally on PlayStation, given the fact you can use the modern graphics, or you can scale it back to what the game originally looked like back when it released on the original PlayStation. I think that's a pretty cool feature. I'm excited for this game. I'm getting on a Nintendo Switch personally because I'm going to want to hone my skills mobily. But this game is definitely a buy, and I think that for the PlayStation users, if you get it on PlayStation, that this is a pretty cool feature for nostalgic reasons, of course. And then after that, they gave us No Man's Sky. It's No Man's Sky Beyond. Hello Games, they said that this would happen some weeks ago, but they also said that there is going to be a VR feature. And this is also coming out in summer this year. And it looks okay. I stopped playing No Man's Sky the same year that it came out. And then a big update came out last year. That's great. I heard it was pretty good. It made the game even better. But that ship has sailed for me. I'm not into it anymore. It was okay, and there's a lot of other games that I could play, especially this year. So, shout out to Hello Games. They've been updating. They stuck with it. You know, they got a lot of crap for what they put out, but I respect the effort, and absolutely. If you're into No Man's Sky Beyond, and if you have VR, absolutely check this out. I think that's pretty cool. And then next, they have this game called Ready, Set, Heroes, and it looks like kind of a cutesy game, but it's a dungeon crawler. Everybody has swords and stuff like that. And you're fighting enemies and stuff like that. And you're trying to get through each dungeon. But the catch here is you're competing against another squad of dungeon crawlers. And I believe at the end of I think it said at the end, you get to fight each other. And whoever gets the most loot, you're stronger. And I think it's a pretty cool concept. I'm interested in actually checking that out. It's a local co-op, 4 players, and online co-op. So that's actually pretty good. As again, taking more notes from Nintendo. But Sony, you got something here. So let's check that out. Now, next up, we had another PSVR game and some familiar faces, some actors. It's called Blood and Truth, and it's basically an action shooter. This game actually seems pretty interesting to me. I'm actually kind of interested, but I don't know if I want to buy a VR just for this specific game. I'm not going to lie to you. It's basically some guy, he's being interrogated, and he's like, you know, you killed a lot of people, what's going on? Kind of the typical action movie kind of thing, but it was interesting in VR. The shooting looked cool, some of the story looked cool, and it was okay. That's coming out May 28th, and you know, just the presentation of this just wasn't the best. And then after that, they gave us a sizzle reel of some VR games, and it happened pretty quick, but what I did catch was a game called Falcon Age, Jupiter and Mars, Trover Saves the Universe, and I believe that's from people who do Rick and Morty, and I'm a huge fan of Rick and Morty, and this is from the guys that do that, and some of the voice, it sounded like Mr. Meeseeks, basically. And everybody loves golf. Everybody's golf VR version. Now, some people might be interested in it. I'm not personally, but I heard that everybody's Why do I keep making that mistake? Everybody's Golf is a huge fan favorite, and I'm happy for those who like it. And hopefully you're into the VR version. It seemed pretty cool. It seemed okay. I can't argue against that. And then there was a vacation simulator. Seemed like Wii Sports or something like that, just a VR version. All of this stuff seemed okay, just not big into it. There's this game called Observation, and that's May 21st, 2019. And then we got a Five Nights at Freddy VR. First, they also let you know that you can play some of the original levels in VR, and as well as some new content. Looks okay. I'm not into that sort of thing. That's coming out in spring of this year. And then we got Concrete Genie. Now, this game is interesting. It also is going to come with a VR mode as well as without a VR mode, coming out in fall of 2019. This game starts with a trailer of a guy who's doing some little sketches in a book. Then a group of kids come to bully him, throw his pages in the dirt, well, in the ocean, and it just kind of gets scattered. And then he ends up somewhere where he gets this magical paintbrush and he has to paint across the wall, and he's making his friends. He's making imaginary friends, and it's active. And then he has to paint some town and bring the town back to life because it's a dead town. And then if he doesn't do the painting, some darkness comes and it'll swallow up everything. And I think it's a pretty cool concept, honestly. That might be a game I want to play, and even in a VR. Once again, not enough for me to buy the VR, but it's very interesting. And kind of a Pixar-y kind of looking game. The neon actually reminds me of the female protagonist from the last Infamous Second Son. The way some of her stuff looked, it was very beautiful, very pretty, and I really think that this game looks pretty awesome, and it could potentially be pretty fun. I'm very interested to see what happens when it comes out in fall of 2019. And then next, they gave us a Days Gone update. Of course, that's coming out in April 26th, a story update. And yeah, pulled me in a little bit more, let us know, gave us a glimpse of what happened before everything and after, and some more of what happened to the characters around him. And I'm still very interested in this game. Hopefully, if I get the Division, I can actually take some time away from the Division and get this game at the end of the month and dig in and shoot some freakers and beat up some of these like cannibal-like people. It's an interesting game. I am a huge fan of this type of game, action, survival kind of game. As some of you may know, The Last of Us was is my favorite game of all time. To me, the greatest story in all of gaming. And that was interesting. But to wrap it up, they gave us more Mortal Kombat 11. That's coming out 3 days before Days Gone. And April is looking crowded. And they gave us an old school versus new school trailer where it's old Jax, old Raiden, and to me it looks like it's just an older version of them from like an alternate universe. They gave us Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and Jax, and they introduced them. I don't think they introduced them in previous trailers, but it looked really awesome. I'm excited for it. Once before I said I'm not into fighting games, but Mortal Kombat, Injustice, some Street Fighter, I'm really into the Mortal Kombat style games. I love these games. Even if I'm getting my tail whipped in these games, I love them because it's kind of easier to chain together some combos and some moves because some of their special moves are combos in their own right. So I really thought it was awesome, pretty bloody and gory, but it was cool. But they promised to deliver more throughout the year, and it was about 20 minutes long. It was just, somebody like PlayStation, I expected more. I didn't expect them to completely copyright what Nintendo, completely copy what Nintendo was doing. It was, I was expecting more. But some of these games looked cool. Some of them looked great. But some of them we already knew about. So, lads and laddies, I thank you for watching this video. This is just a quick update. Go ahead and watch it and tell me what you thought of this presentation. Let me know down in the comments below what kind of these games are you excited about. What do you think popped out to you most? Do you like VR? Do you have VR? Would you recommend VR? Because maybe somewhere in the near future I'll get it. Maybe if the PS5 comes out with it, I'll get it. But lads and ladders, I thank you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I'm posting. Thank you for watching once again. This video is finito.